Hey, what's up? I am Ara, aka I Eat Zebra, and welcome back to the channel. AHS Season 10 Double Feature has introduced us to a new group of monsters that were transformed by the mysterious Black Pill. Since they do not have an official name yet, I will refer to them as the Muses. The Muses in Season 10 remind me of another group of bloodsuckers from the West Coast, the Vampires, or the Afflicted. I'll use both interchangeably throughout the video as a heads up. If you have seen my theory video yet on what is in the Black Pill, I believe the blood virus the vampires are cursed with is part of the Chemist's secret recipe. I wanted to dive deeper into the similarities and differences of the Muses and the vampires in today's video, so let's get to it. In AHS Season 5 Hotel, we are introduced to the vampires. The vampires in Hotel are afflicted with an ancient blood virus, originating in the Carpathian Mountains, as discovered by Nosferatu director F.W. Murnau. He discovers these beautiful, afflicted creatures and is eventually turned. That is so far all we know of the origins of the blood virus. Once someone is turned after having the blood virus transferred to them, they display the following: eternal life, so they will not die of old age or natural causes; endless youth, they remain the same age at the time they are turned. We see a perfect example of this when Holden Lowe's younger sister Scarlet continues to age while he remains somewhat frozen in time at the age he was kidnapped by the Countess and turned. A terrible thirst, aka they need blood to survive. Sensitivity to light. We see they do not go outside during the day often, and Ramona is held in a cage with UV lights covering it. They have the ability to heal quickly. This does not apply to diseases involving the brain, as Ramona turns her dad in an effort to heal him of his Alzheimer's, but all that happens is the disease is no longer progressing but in a stasis. They have a paler appearance and a lower body temperature, as well as heightened senses. The first vampire we know of that is responsible for all the others in AHS Hotel is F.W. Murnau, and that list also includes Rudolph Valentino, Natasha Rambova, Elizabeth, aka the Countess, Ramona Royale, Donovan, Dr. Alex Lowe, her son Holden Lowe, Ren, Iris, Tristan Duffy, Prophet Moses, Ramona's dad, Max Ellison, and his classmates. With the blood virus, as long as it is transferred to an individual, there are not any caveats as to whether or not someone is talented as to how it will affect them, unlike the Muses. So let's take a look at them now. According to the Chemist, she is working on behalf of the U.S. military to uncover how to block the creative process in the mind in order to make more docile and obedient soldiers. However, to figure out how to unblock it, they must learn how to unlock the creative functions. That is where the pill comes in. She says the pill targets the occipital lobe of the brain by depleting 4 nutrients in the blood: sodium, calcium, potassium, and magnesium. What is in the pill is still a mystery, but I think I may have uncovered some of its secrets, which you could find in my Theorio video I mentioned earlier. The known effects for those who are blessed with talent: they will experience their full creative potential unlocked, heightened senses, they'll have a paler complexion, especially when they need to feed, an insatiable hunger for blood, increased aggression, an inflated ego and arrogance. As we see, once Harry and Alma Gardner take the pill, they both not only become mean to one another, but Alma especially degrades her mother about her being quote-unquote ordinary. However, if you are lacking talent, like the poor Buddhist musician that we saw turn into the first pale one, then it's a lot worse. You have the similar symptoms of being very pale, having heightened senses. However, your creativity becomes blocked. You start losing your hair. You have increased uncontrollable aggression, an insatiable hunger, and most of the pale ones tend to feed in a more animalistic way compared to the others. And you also might find yourself inclined to wear 80s jackets with some shoulder pads. Okay, so that's not really like a real side effect, but it explains a lot seeing as they have bad taste. The Muses in double feature are Belle Noire, Austin Summers, Harry Gardner, Alma Gardner, Lark, Mickey, and Holden Vaughn, who is not yet confirmed. However, we see in the flashback he goes from a realtor to the top interior designer, which sounds a little bit sus if you ask me. Quentin Tarantino, who is alluded to being a muse based on the letter that Ursula read where he offered Harry to write his script for him. Also, based on promotional footage, it looks like T.B. Karen will most likely be turned into a muse as well. As we can see, there are obvious similarities between the vampires and the muses, the most obvious being that they feed off of the blood of others in order to survive. They have heightened senses and abilities, and seem to be impervious to most illnesses so far. What remains to be seen are the long-term effects, like whether or not Alma will be stuck in her physical form for the rest of her life. One thing I did notice is that it's not a prerequisite for the vampires to be artists in order for them to be positively affected by the blood virus, because, they don't turn into ugly Nosferatu creatures after all. However, many of the vampires are indeed artists or possess some form of talent. For example, F.W. Murnau is a director. The Countess, Valentino, Natasha, and Ramona are all actors. Prophet Moses, Ramona's boyfriend, was a rapper. Tristan Duffy was a model. And Dr. Alex Lowe was a successful and well sought out pediatrician. Ramona's father, Iris, and Donovan are the only adult vampires we know of without any specific talent, besides Donovan, because he has a jawline for days, if that counts. Similar to the vampire delinquent Max Ellison and his classmates, Alma's hunger is also completely out of control. After the massacre at their school and killing of their parents, the kids draw in media attention due to them not having anyone to keep them in check, which poses the risk of exposure, and that is something the Countess will not tolerate. We do see the children the Countess has custody of, well, sorta, do not behave that way, and that's because she keeps them in an isolated and controlled environment. She also provides them with IVs full of blood to quench their appetites. The little delinquents remind me a lot of Alma after she takes the pill. She draws the attention of the locals who see her covered in blood after Doris finds her eating on a dead squirrel in the graveyard. This leads to the sheriff coming by to question the Gardner family. Harry tells Alma he will take care of feeding her. Subtlety obviously does not run in this family, as Belle and Austin find out Alma took the pill when Harry was taking blood back for her after one of their kills. Belle and Austin report this information back to the chemist, who, like the Countess, wants the situation dealt with, which means she wants them terminated, if you will. Well, once word gets out of Alma killing the sheriff due to her lack of control, especially while hungry, shit is going to absolutely hit the fan for the chemist's operation. The parallels between Max and his friends and Alma are very apparent, and to me that is not a good sign for Alma at all. But we will see in the next 2 episodes how the rest of the Gardners and the Muses stories play out. Well, what do you think? Is Alma doomed to a similar fate as Max and his classmates, or will she get lucky like Holden and be able to have at least their afflicted parent be able to continue to care for them in their new condition? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do not forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when new videos drop. See you next time. Bye!